Good evening to all and welcome to the session 200 Grammar Rules. But before I go to the actual session, I would like to talk about the courses being offered by an academy. New courses are coming up on 30th of this month, June 30th. And at the outset, an academy is the best platform for SSC preparation. You may ask, sir, why? You get access to 30 plus batches every week, 300 plus classes a day, 70 plus educators, 40,000 hours of recorded content, 20,000 practice questions, and trusted by 90% students or aspirants, SSC aspirants. And all these are the details regarding the courses that are being launched on 30th June. Please go through all these details. And also, these courses are being offered by the top educators. They have experience as well as expertise. And the syllabus, what are the benefits? Strong lineup of batches. What are the batches? These are the batches: SSC CGL 2020 exam, Crack SSC GD Constable 2020, AIM batch for SSC multitasking staff. You have two more: Foundation batch, Crack SSC stenographer. And these are the subscription fee. Please go through. And if you use my referral code, you get additional 10% discount. What is my referral code? You can see here Korlapati 4 hyphen 5077. That is my referral code. And there is one every Sunday. They conduct a combat scholarship test every Sunday. And the one who gets the first prize, the first rank, there is a prize for that student. What is the first prize? It is Apple iPad, and second prize Apple AirPod, and third prize JBL speaker. So try to take the test. It is July 4th, 12 p.m. And now again the subscription fee you can pay every month, month wise also. Let us crack SSC. Now we'll go to the actual session. What is the actual session? 200 grammar rules. How many rules have you learned so far? You have learned about, I suppose, 48. Am I right? Please say yes or no. So far, you have learned 48 rules, rules that go with nouns, pronouns, verbs, all these. Good evening to everyone. So 48 rules over. Today, you're going to learn four more rules: 49, 50, 51, 52. Now, let us go to, I will tell about that later. Let me teach the four rules, then we'll go for discussion. What is the first rule for today? Rule number 49: adjectives as nouns. You all know what is an adjective. An adjective is a describing word. What does it describe? It describes a noun. But in English, we can use adjectives as nouns. When we use adjectives as nouns, there's one important rule. What is that rule? When we use an adjective as a noun, we should use a definite article the before the adjective and use the verb in the plural form. There are two aspects you have to remember when it comes to this particular rule. What is the first one? You should use a definite article the, that is very important, before the adjective. And what is the second dimension you got to remember? The verb should be in the plural form. That is very important. I will just underline. You should use a definite article the, one thing. You should use a verb in the plural form. These two things you got to remember when you use an adjective as a noun. Now look at the first sentence. He is a rich man. Now what is the adjective here? It is a rich. Man is a noun and rich is an adjective. And in the second example, the rich are usually arrogant. Now answer my question. What is the word rich in the second sentence? Which part of speech is it? Please answer my question. Those who are there, please answer. In the first example, I said a rich man. Man is a noun. A rich is what? It is describing man, which is a noun. So rich is an adjective. In the second example, what is the word rich? In the second example, it is an adjective. Actually, an adjective, but here it is not an adjective. It is a noun. I have used the adjective as a noun. When we use an adjective as a noun, there are two things you got to remember. One, we should use a definite article the, and we should use a verb in the plural form. That is a rule. I hope you got the rule. He is a blind man. In this example, tell me what is the word blind. Again, man is a noun. What is the word blind? It is an adjective. In the next example, the blind. Here, blind is not an adjective, it is a noun. Because I have used an adjective as a noun, we should use a definite article the blind, and also the verb should be in the plural form. The, please give me a second. The blind are usually helpless. I hope you got the rule. The blind are usually helpless. Now let us go to the next one. Rule number 49, an important one. What is rule number 49? When we use adjectives as nouns, we should use a definite article the, and we should use a verb in the plural form. Now, rule number 50, compared to adjectives. This is very important. The reason being, in so many competitive exams, they have given questions based on this particular rule. Let us see what the rule is. Comparative adjectives like, you got to memorize all these words: anterior, posterior, senior, junior, superior, inferior, elder, preferable, prior, and the verb up to, all these are adjectives, and the verb prefer. Prefer is a verb. All these adjectives are comparative adjectives. When we use these comparative adjectives and the verb prefer, they take the preposition to. The common error, people use than is not correct. We should use a preposition to, not the word than. Look at the examples now. He is senior to me. Usually, what people say, he is senior than me. That is not correct. He is senior to me. They are elder to me. You cannot say they are elder than me. That is not correct. She prefers, a lot of people say, she prefers tea than coffee. That is not correct. The verb, what is the verb here? Prefers. She prefers tea to coffee. This is an important rule. Older than, older takes than, but elder takes to. I hope you got this rule. But what is important here, you got to memorize all these words: anterior, posterior, senior, junior, superior, inferior, elder, preferable, prior, and the verb prefer. You got to have at your fingertips. Now let us go to rule number 51. Now again, comparison compared to adjectives. When two adjectives refer to the same person, we use two adjectives or two nouns refer to the same person, we should not use any article before the second adjective. The same rule goes with nouns also. Here, the first example is, he is a chairman and managing director of a company. Now, chairman is a noun, managing director a noun. These two nouns refer to the same person. Because of that, we should use a definite article the before the first noun. Before the second noun, there should not be any article. So the sentence is correct. But here, the rule goes with nouns. Same rule goes with adjectives. She is the cleverest and bravest in the group. Now, what is the adjective here? Cleverest, bravest. Because these two refer to the same person, before the second adjective, we should not use the definite article the. It is in the superlative form. So, what is the correct sentence? She is the cleverest and bravest in the group. I hope you got it. Rule number 51. Now let us go to the last rule. Again, comparison. When we compare two qualities of a person has two qualities, you're comparing those two qualities. When we compare two qualities of a person, we should use both the adjectives in the positive form, and before the first adjective, we should use more. This is very important. Now look at this example. Here I'm talking about someone is clever, someone is diligent, and we are comparing. What is the word for comparison? We use the word than. The stylus is really than. So a lot of students think cleverer. No, Here we are talking about the qualities, two qualities of the same person. Then we should use both the adjectives in positive form: clever, positive; diligent, positive. But before the first one, we should use the word more. Then what is the correct sentence? He is more clever than diligent. Now, if you take the adjective clever, what are the three forms? Clever, cleverer, and what is the superlative? Cleverest, cleverest. So clever, cleverer, cleverest. Here, a lot of students think they should use a comparative form. No, we should use a positive form, both diligent, more diligent, the most diligent. But both the adjectives should be in the positive form. And before the first one, we should use the word more. That is very important. Now, what is the second example here? This is very important. You got to remember. She is more shrewd than intelligent. Shrewd, shrewder, shrewdest, intelligent, more intelligent, the most intelligent. But here we should use both the adjectives in the positive form, and before the first one, before the first adjective, we should use the word more. I hope you got the rule. So these are the four rules for today. First one is what? It goes with comparative, we use adjectives as nouns. Then we should use a definite article the, and the verb should be in the plural form. Next, compare to adjectives like, so many I have listed out: anterior, superior, senior, junior, and you can take elder, prefer. Verb, prefer is a verb. Preferable, prior. All these take the preposition to. Then, when you use two nouns or two adjectives that refer to the same person, before the second noun, before the second adjective, we should not use any article. And what is the last one? When you talk about two qualities of the same person, then you should use both the adjectives in the positive form. And before the first one, you should use the word more clever than. Shrewd, shrewd means a person who is very smart, and a shrewd person means a person who knows how to win a situation. He makes a losing situation a winning situation. In a way, it is like being smart. A particular situation he may lose, but because of shrewdness, he makes it a winning situation. I will give an example. Who is that? I will give one example. You go to a shop, you ask for a particular product. The shop fellow doesn't have the product, but he wants to do business. He says, "Sir, that product nowadays it's not coming, and people are not happy with that product. I got another brand, a new brand, latest brand, it is very popular." Then you get tempted, you buy the other one. That is being shrewd. Shrewd businessman. Then what do we say? Shrewd businessman. You can use the word prudent also. Prudent has a positive connotation. Shrewd has a little, to some extent, negative connotation. I hope all the four rules are clear. Now let us go to practice questions, adjectives related, based on these four rules. My brother is elder than me. Is it right or wrong? My brother is elder than me. Please mention the question number, that is very important. Hmm. Here, what is the adjective? Compared to adjective, elder. It does not take the word than, it takes a preposition to. Based on that, no, I am not able to keep answering. I will respond. Give me a second. Now I can make out. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. Oh, it's yellow in color. Here, elder, it takes a preposition to, not than. Now, what is, we have gone to the fifth one. You guys are very fast. She is junior to me. Is it right or wrong? Senior, junior, they take the preposition to. They got it prior than independence. Not correct. Prior to. Again, what is the preposition here? We have to use to. He is superior than me. No, they have given in so many exams. He is superior to me. This place is preferable than that one. Again, not correct. This place is preferable to that one. He always prefers tea to coffee. Sentence number six, is it right or wrong? Now I'm with you guys. Sentence number six, he always prefers. What is the verb here? Prefer. He always prefers tea to coffee. Perfect. No error whatsoever. The intelligent is usually egoistic. The intelligent. What is the word intelligent? Which part of speech is it? It is an adjective. But here it has been used as a noun. And what are the two things you have to remember? One, we should use a definite article, the, that is correct. But the verb should be in the plural form, not in the singular form. Then is not correct. It should be are. The intelligent are usually egoistic. He is a correspondent and the principal. The same rule goes with adjectives and nouns. Here we are talking about the same person. Have you answered the last one? Yes, all these take two. The last one, the two nouns refer to the same person. Then what is the rule? The two adjectives refer to the same person. The two nouns refer to the same person. We should not use any article before the second noun, before the second adjective. Here the sentence talks about the same person. Then he is a correspondent, that is correct, but and the principal is not correct. He is a correspondent and principal, then it is correct. Now sentence number 9. The place is more noisy than chaotic. Chaos means confusion, total confusion. The place is more noisy than chaotic. So is it right or wrong? Yes, of course. You will have access to so many batches and so many faculty members, the best experienced and with expertise. And use my referral code, Korlapati 4-5077. You get 10% discount. The place is more noisy than chaotic. Have you answered? Yes. There's nothing wrong with this. More noisy than chaotic. The clever are gifted people. What about the 10th one? The clever. Clever is an adjective. Here it has been used as a noun, and the is there, or plural verb. The sentence is correct. They are more sharp than shrewd. Sharp is an adjective, shrewd is an adjective. Both, we are talking about two qualities of the same group. Then is it right or wrong? Question number 11. It is correct. More sharp than shrewd. They're more lazier than inattentive. Here, lazier is not correct. What is it? You should use adjective in the positive form. Based on that, they are more lazy. They are more lazy than inattentive. Question number 13. The student prefers library than hostel room. I hope I'm not going very fast. You're able to answer. So what is the answer for question number 13? The student prefers library than hostel. What is the verb here, prefers? Then you cannot say than, it should be to. Prefers library to hostel room. The great are not flawless. Is this right or wrong? Sentence number 14. 14 is correct. Here, great means what? Great people. Great people. People, noun. Great, adjective. Here it has been used as a noun. Then we need the definite article the and also the verb in the plural form. The sentence is perfect. Flawless means what? Without mistakes. No one is perfect. The domestic stuff is preferable than the imported stuff. Again, preferable. It takes a preposition to. Has anyone got all the 15 correct? Yes, all the 15 correct. Now let us go to questions from previous year's papers. Oh, thank you very much, Uday Kumar. All the 15 correct, huh? Nagamaleshwari, Veeranna, very good. I appreciate. Now please go to, let us spend time on error location, questions from previous year's papers. Actual questions. 14 is also pretty good. Sanja, that is also highly appreciable. Yes, Ramana is the first one to respond. My brother's ability to acting was recognized at a very young age. Is it to acting or to act? Yes, many students have got it right. It is not to acting. It should be to act. Where is the error? To acting is not correct. It should be to act. My brother's ability to act was recognized at a very young age. The sentence is in passive voice, past tense. We recognized active voice, was recognized by us, passive voice. Now let us go to question number 2. Try to remember this way: basic form or infinitive, present, past, past participle, present participle. There are 5 forms and each one has a specific term. One must learn to distinguish good from bad. This is a very good question. No one has answered except one. No, that is not correct. Not always. See, when we give a rule, already have got a rule. What is that rule? When we use one as a subject in the same sentence, we should, or in the same clause, or another clause in the sentence, we should use one or ones. But it doesn't mean that every time. First, you have to read the sentence, understand the context, then see whether it is applicable, not applicable. Then the error could be something else. This is really surprising. You know why? I have just given one rule today. What is the first rule? The very first rule. When we use adjectives as nouns, we should use a definite article the. Now, here, good is an adjective, bad is an adjective. Good thing, bad thing. And we have used as nouns. Then what is missing? One must learn to distinguish the good from the bad. The good from the bad. Here we have to use the good and the bad. You have just got the rule. There is an error in the third part. What is it? The good from the bad. Sometimes it happens, we get carried away. You must have focused on one. Already have got the rule. What is the rule? One means either it should be one or ones. Please remember, any language is an ocean. So many patterns, so many contexts. First, you have to read the sentence. This is what I tell students: read the sentence, understand the context, then you see whether you can apply that rule or not. Every time you cannot apply. Based on the pattern, based on the context, you have to decide whether you can or you cannot. But here, this is crystal clear. Distinguish the good from the bad. This is a very good question. Now let us go to question number 3. One must learn distinguish, no, no, to distinguish the good from the bad. You have to use the good, the bad. What is the reason? Good is an adjective, so is bad, but have been used as nouns. This is rather easy. Ghana, Nigeria, and Gambia each So, what is a clue for you? The word each. Already have learned. Answer my question. Which part of speech is each? Which part of speech is each? First question. Which part of speech is each? It is a pronoun. Second question. Which pronoun is it? Which type of pronoun? It is a distributive pronoun. And what is the rule that goes with distributive pronouns? They always take a singular verb. And what are the three distributive pronouns? Each can be a pronoun, each can be an adjective, but as a pronoun, there's an important rule. Each, either, neither. They always take a singular verb. Based on that, where is the error? Have is not correct. It should be has. There is an error in the second part. Each has a part to play. Each country has a part to play. Yes, that's right. Prithvi Raja. Each, either, neither. It's always better to recollect and write immediately. That will help in the long run. You can consolidate your knowledge. Now let us go to question number 4. Education is the only effective tool to help to eradicate the problem of violence against women. This is also based on a rule you have learned. What is that? Education is the only effective tool to help to eradicate the problem of violence against women. You have got this rule recently. Omit 2. Nagamaleshwari has got it right. Here there's a causative verb. What are the causative verbs? Make, help, get. They don't take the preposition to. Already have learned this rule. Education is the only effective tool to help eradicate the problem of violence against women. Then it is correct. Yes, Ramadevi. Drop 2. 2 should not be there. Already have got this rule. Answer 3. Third part, there is an error. Help, make, get, let, bid. That's good. But exam point of view, usually they use make, help, get rarely. Let, of course, that is important. Let me go, let me speak, let me do. Now, the last question based on error location. The beautiful young girl jumped in the river in a state of depression. Why is it strange, Raza? There's, why is it strange? That is a rule. Already I have taught that rule. 200 grammar rules. I think 44 or 45, rule number 44 or 45. It is about causative verbs. Causative verbs don't take the preposition to. I gave one more example. The teacher made the students to write the assignment. Not correct. The teacher made the students write the assignments. To should not be used. Here there is action. Then you cannot use in. You have to use into. What is the correct preposition? Into. So where is the error? Second part. The beautiful young girl jumped into the river in a state of depression. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Error location. Please answer my question. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Error location. 5 out of 5. No one has responded. 3, 4, 4. That is also good enough. Actual questions that you should remember. And you guys will be surprised to know 12 to noon also I take on an academy platform vocabulary. And it seems 2 students, they got out of 200 tier 2, 190 in English, 190 out of 200. The boy's name is Amit and the girl's name is Anjali. That is phenomenal. What is the score? 190 out of 200. We heard that the Richards, this is an important expression. Tell me what is the meaning of the Richards? The Richards means what? Mr. and Mrs. Richard. When we want to convey Mr. and Mrs. Smith, what are we supposed to say? The Smiths. Mr. and Mrs. Richard The Richards. We heard that the Richards, there's a clue for you, recently. In English, we use present perfect tense to express recently completed actions. Which tense? Present perfect. Based on that, this is future, this is present continuous, this is past perfect, and only one answer is the fourth option, present perfect. We heard that, no, I'm sorry. Here, we heard, we heard that is the verb is in the past. Then you cannot use have shifted. It should be had shifted. What is the answer here? What is the reason, you may ask? It is not 4, it is 3. Please answer my question. What is the reason? Why not 4? Why 3? Hope you guys are able to make out what I say. Again, we have a time lag, I suppose, 20 seconds. Question number 6, why not the fourth option? Why the third option? I asked a question, but no one has responded. Here there's a clue for you. What is it? The verb is in the past. It goes into we heard. Already we heard. So you cannot use present perfect. It should be past perfect. Answer is the third option, not the fourth option. That's a good question. Question number 7. This goes with a proverb. I'll write here. What is a proverb? A popular saying. And what is the other word for proverb? This you may not know. Adage. Proverb, popular saying, adage, they all mean the same. Adage, A-D-A-G-E. Now what is the answer? Make hay while the sun shines. When everything is conducive, proper situation, make the maximum out of it. That's what it means. Question number 8. The Prime Minister insisted fuel prices in the cabinet meeting. The Prime Minister insisted fuel prices in the cabinet meeting. Yes, you can use maxim. There's one more word, adage. I have already written. Saying, popular saying. Strike while iron is hot. Yes, that is also right. Madhav. Now, what is the answer for question number 8? There's a clue for you. Insist. That takes a preposition on. But how many options are there with on? This is ruled out. This is ruled out. You have to decide between on arising, on arising. So what is the answer? Question number 8, insist. Insist takes the preposition on. On rising or on raising? What is the answer? It is not rising. Rise is an intransitive verb. We need a transitive verb on raising. Raising what? Fuel prices. Now, already I have given this rule, confusing verbs. What is the difference between rise and raise? Rise is an intransitive verb. Raise, a transitive verb. Now, what is the difference between a transitive verb and an intransitive verb? Intransitive verb cannot take an object. Transitive verb can take an object. Here there's an object. What is it? Fuel prices. Raise what? Raise the standards, raise your hands, raise fuel prices. Based on that, we should use a raise, not rise. Exactly. See what happens, already you have learned, and there's a question, actual question. Why they give questions based on confusing verbs or confusing words? While taking the actual exam, you are under tremendous pressure. When you're under pressure, these things are not easy to make out. In this session, you're not under pressure, very casual, you're listening casually, no doubt attentively, but no pressure. But in the exam, not easy. These are all very difficult. Because of that, they have given many a time. Many a time. Question number 9. Only patience and fortitude carried him the crisis. Oh, who is this? Vandana Sharma. Welcome to the session. Hope you are enjoying the session. The enrichment, getting enriched. I don't like to use the word enjoy. I would like to use the word enrich. Every session is for your enrichment. Only patience and fortitude, strength carried him the crisis. It is not over the crisis. About is ruled out. Out is ruled out. Through the crisis. Go through the crisis. Here we have to use carried him through the crisis. We have to use the fourth option. That is the answer. Yes. Now let us go to the last sentence related to fillers. We still have time. Carry over is not correct. It should be carry through. Succeed. Carry through something. Overcome. Overcome crisis. The crisis. My servant with all my money. But servant, third person singular, you cannot use have. Servants, have is correct. Servant, have not correct. Subject is what? Third person singular. Based on that, was run away, grammatically not correct. My servant running away, is missing or was is missing. So what is the answer? My servant has run off with all my money. Tell me which tense is this? My servant has run off with all my money. Present perfect tense, and there's a phrasal verb. What is a phrasal verb here? Run off. My servant has run off with all my money. A bad servant. Now let us go to the next one. Sentence improvement. The next 5 questions deal with sentence improvement. What is the answer? Question number 11. The commoners joined the king's army at crushing the rebels. Crushing, defeating. Now what is the correct word? At first you have to decide right or wrong. If you think it is wrong, what is the right word? Flee away. Yes, flee. What is the past form? Fled. Flee, fled, fled. That is right. Private working aspirant. The right preposition here in crushing the rebels. It is not at, it is not without, into, not relevant. Answer is the commoners joined the king's army in crushing the rebels. Join in doing something. In this context, in doing what? In crushing the rebels. Answer is the second option. I think many students have got it right. He argued endlessly with him on the subject. This is a good question. Question number 12 is a good one. Now, what does it mean? He argued endlessly with him on the subject. What is the answer? When I say it's a good question, it is a challenging question, not easy to answer. Who is this? Rajshekhar says fourth option, question number 12. Let others also respond. And Vamsi says third. Someone says first option. Someone says second option. Argue endlessly means to argue angrily with someone. There's nothing wrong with this idiomatic expression. They always argue endlessly means to talk to someone angrily, to argue angrily. Based on that, answer is no improvement. What is the answer? The fourth option is the answer. Sentence is absolutely right. He argued endlessly with him on the subject. Means what? He argued angrily with him on the subject, not continuously. Answer is here sentence improvement. What is the, please have a look at the, these questions go with sentence improvement. The sentence as such perfect, flawless, grammatically and contextually, meaning wise also. Based on that, the answer is no improvement. Question number 13, again related to sentence improvement. In case of a natural calamity, the shortage of essential things must be overcome in short time. Hmm. What, what is the answer this one? It looks correct, but is it correct, or you have to, if it is not, what is the answer? Many students have got it right. Things is a general term. This context is a formal context. It goes with newspaper English or written English. And here we cannot use a simple word like things. And there's a typical combination. What is it? Essential commodities, groceries, petrol. There are 7 or 8 categories. They come under essential commodities, basic stuff like groceries, provisions. So here, things is not the right word. Nothing wrong grammatically, but contextually, it is not correct. What is the answer? Commodities, essential commodities. Answer is the first option. Collocation, exactly, Sheikh Rasul. It's good that you have used that word, collocation, combination. A typical combination, there's an act also, Essential Commodities Act. No problem. Looks like today is not your day. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are not happy, sometimes we are focused, sometimes we are disturbed. We are not machines. We can't be the same all the time. Ups and downs are part of life. Basic goods. Yes, Prudhiraja, that is right. It is there. I know. Essential Commodities Act. A lot of effort went into collecting the data. Something has gone. A lot of effort. Here, a lot of effort, nothing wrong. Went into, go into, went into what? Collecting the data. So there's nothing wrong with this sentence. What is the answer based on that? Almost all the students have got it right. No improvement. Now listen very carefully. When it comes to no improvement, when it comes to no error, you got to be a little careful because under pressure, not easy to choose the last option. No improvement, no error. You got to be good at English grammar. You got to be good at contextual awareness, and you should be damn sure. Then only you go for the fourth option. And once you decide no improvement, no error, don't think of that question. Don't look back. It is over, it is over. Focus on the next question. Very good. I appreciate all the students who have chosen, all those students who have chosen the fourth option, no improvement. Now let us go to the last sentence related to sentence improvement. She decided to go there, though her husband cautioned her on it. 15, where is the error? Or is the sentence right? She decided to go there, though her husband cautioned her on it. 15, what is the answer? No one has answered. How come? Yes, now I see your answers. Caution. It takes a preposition against. Caution against something. It is not on. It should be. I think almost all the no, 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 no. Many students haven't got it right. Caution takes a preposition against. Caution against something. So answer is not on. It is not for. Answer is what? The first option. These questions are based on fixed prepositions or prepositional combinations. Now, listen carefully. Preposition combinations or fixed prepositions, there are so many, not practically possible to memorize in isolation. What I tell my students, read the newspapers, read English novels, better newspapers, the editorials. You get exposed to all these combinations. They get registered at the subconscious level. Based on that, in the exam, when you see the sentence, 1 second before you go to the options, the right word pops up. You know what the answer is. That stage you have to reach, and it is possible. Now, the last five questions deal with active voice and passive voice. Please have a look. Lean against, warn against. Yes, those are also the collocations. Very good. I appreciate that. War, lean, fight, caution. Yes, yes, that's right. Very good. If you write that way, you will be able to remember for a long time. Now, five questions on active voice, passive voice. Let us see how you're going to do. She does not sing classical songs. First, you have to know which tense is this. Please answer my question. Which tense is this? It is present tense. Present tense, negative form. Subject. She does not sing what? Classical songs. Then you have to start with classical songs. How many options start with classical songs? This is not correct. This is not correct. Cannot be. Just eliminate. Classical songs are not sung by her. Classical songs were. Sentence is in present tense. You cannot change it to past. Based on that, what is the answer? Simple present tense, negative form. Classical songs are not sung by her. And remember, any sentence in passive voice, I repeat, any sentence, any pattern in passive voice, the main verb is always in the past participle form. It is always in what? The past participle form. Sing, sang, sung. That you should remember, whatever the sentence may be, whatever the pattern may be. So, answer very good. Almost all the students have got it right. Express the same sentence in passive or active voice. And when it comes to active voice and passive voice, the questions, interrogative sentences are not easy. Do you speak Marathi? How many of you speak Marathi? Someone in Maharashtra must have said the paper. Do you speak Marathi? Always past participle. No exception whatsoever. First, which tense is this? Present tense. Which form is this? Interrogative. And do you speak what? Marathi. But here you have to start with Marathi, third person singular, and it is question. Question you have to start with a helping verb. So do you yourself speak Marathi? Not correct. Is Marathi spoken by you? Is speaking of Marathi is done by you? You cannot use two times is. Or Marathi. Marathi is singular. You cannot use a plural verb. Who is this Bhavana? Marathi. Oh, okay, that's good. Is Marathi spoken by you? So what is the answer? Is Marathi spoken by you? Now sometimes students ask me, sir, these are a bit confusing how to handle. I will give you one tip. Please listen very carefully. Now in the exam, you have seen this. Do you speak Marathi? First, you understand what could be the idea. You speak Marathi. Make a statement in present tense. Do you speak Marathi? It is interrogative. First, you change it to affirmative. When you change it to affirmative, what do you get? You speak Marathi. You speak Marathi. Present tense affirmative. Change it to passive voice. Marathi is spoken by you. Marathi is spoken by you. Active voice to passive voice, affirmative. Then when you want to change a sentence from affirmative to interrogative, a simple technique I tell my students, take the helping verb to the first position and rewrite the sentence. Marathi, here, you speak Marathi. Marathi is spoken by you. You want to change it interrogative. Is Marathi spoken by you? You get the same thing here. Is Marathi spoken by you? This way also you can change if you find it a little confusing. Now, question number 18. Does she like English literature? Madhav also. Oh, that's very good. We have two students. One is Bhavana, the other one is Madhav, mother tongue Marathi. Are you guys from Bombay? Is liking of English literature done by her? 18, second option, Kalyan. Again, you try to, does she like English literature? First, you change it to affirmative. She likes English literature. Change it to passive voice. English literature is liked by her. And take is to the first person, rewrite the sentence, it changes to interrogative. Is English literature liked by her? So, what is the answer? Is liking is not correct. She likes, you cannot use a subject. Our English literature, not at all. So, what is the answer? English literature is liked by her. She likes English literature. English literature is liked by her. Is English literature liked by her? Very simple. Bangalore. Okay. I remember yesterday you said Bangalore. I do remember that. Now let us go to question number 19. The book exhibition had been opened by the governor. Now, is this sentence in active voice or passive voice? Please answer that question. Konkan region. Okay. That's good. Konkan region. There's one language, Konkani. Am I right? Konkani language. It goes with Govans, I suppose. Madhav, am I right? So this is in passive voice. The book exhibition had been opened by the governor. And which tense is that? Past perfect tense. When you see been, usually it is in passive. Not always. Had been opened. Now you have to. Thank you. My pleasure. Plus student. Oh, that's really good. Gamini. Wonderful. You're here. That's really good. Now, you should make the governor the subject. How many options? All the four options. Your bad luck. But the governor had opened. You cannot say here had been past perfect. Then you cannot use has. You cannot use past tense. You cannot use present tense. So, what is the answer? I think almost all the students have got it right. The governor had opened the book exhibition. Now, I would like to spend 1 or 2 minutes over here. When you see this sentence, first you answer my question, which tense is this? This sentence is in which tense? This sentence is in which tense? The governor had opened the book exhibition. Please answer the question. This particular sentence, the governor had opened the book exhibition. Which tense is that? How come no response? Are you guys thinking, or if you don't know, you say you don't know? Past perfect. Now, what you have to do, there are two types of students, usual, regular, and the other category, smart, very smart, sharp and smart. A casual student, good students, these students are also pretty good. They look at the question, they look at the answer, then go to the next question. While preparing for competitive exams, you got to be very smart and sharp. That is not very useful in the real sense. Every question, there may be something to learn. After getting the answer, you ask the question, based on this, what can I learn? What can I recollect? This is in past perfect. You have to recollect the use of past perfect tense. Now tell me, what is the use of past perfect tense? I repeat the question. What is the use of past perfect tense? Or when do you use past perfect? That should be at your fingertips. When you do that way, every question, All the topics, all the rules, everything will be at your fingertips. In your sleep, also, someone wakes you up, you will be able to answer. Now, what is the use past perfect tense? No one has answered, or you're taking your own time. Shall I repeat the question? Hmm. Not exactly. Not exactly. No, 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 no. Rajshekar has got it right. What is that? When there are two actions, please listen very carefully. Two actions happened in the past, one after the other. First action, second action. I'll give an example. 9:30 movie started. You went to the theater at 9:45. Now, what are the two actions over here? 9:30 movie started. Second action, you went to the theater. When there are two actions that happened in the past, one after the other, for the first action, we should use past perfect tense. For the second action, we should use past tense. Here, past perfect. Here, past tense. Now, how do you express the same idea? The movie had started before I went to the theater. The movie had started before I went to the theater. There are four conjunctions you can use: before, by the time, when, after. Before, by the time, when, one pattern, after another pattern. How do we express the same idea? The movie had started before I went to the theater. The movie had started by the time I went to the theater. The movie had started when I went to the theater. Same pattern. When you use the word after, things change. I went to the theater after the movie had started. Meaning wise, there's no difference. I went to the theater after the movie had started. Both mean the same. This is a use. Now, when you recollect this way, now see this question, you got a chance to think of past perfect tense, the use. If you had you tried, if you tried this way, what happens? Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't remember. Then refer your notebook. You should ask yourself constantly, oh, this question is about past perfect. Do I know the rule that goes with past perfect? Do I know the use that goes with past perfect? Yes, recollect. No, refer the notebook. That will help in the long run. Yes, yes. But usually, past perfect, you need two clauses, two actions, two clauses, one clause in past perfect, the other clause in past tense. I hope you got it. Ankush says used to talk about actions that were completed before some point in the past. That is also right. That is also right. Oh, you have done so many times because I haven't noticed. You're right. But generally, remember this way two actions. In the exam, also, they don't give an independent sentence. They give a sentence where you have two clauses. And a typical example I will give, then we'll go to the next question. I will say the sentence you try to correct. They started the program before the chief guest arrived. Is this right or wrong? The train had left before I reached the station. Yes, that's right, Madhav. Perfect example. Now answer my question. They started the program before the chief guest arrived. They have given in many exams. Is this right or wrong? They started the program before the chief guest arrived. Wrong. Why is it wrong? First action, it should be in past perfect, but it isn't past. So what is the correct sentence? They had started. They had started the program before the chief guest arrived. They had started is correct. Now let us go to the last question. This is again very difficult. Questions in passive voice, not easy. By whom was this work done? That is right, Sandeep. They had started, not they started. No, 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 no. If you use before, then you not before in your example, Sandeep. You should use the word after, not before. They started the program. They had started. That is right. By whom was this work done? What is the answer? Simple past tense. Who did this work? Who did this work? I said this is an important question. Why is it an important question? Usually, common error people say, by whom this work was done. That is not correct. By whom was this work done? That is correct. So careful with the sentence pattern. I don't know how many of you know I have started foundation course plus classes on academy platform morning 9:30 to 11:30. I teach the basics of English grammar useful for any competitive exam. My referral code Kolapati 4-5077. If you use a referral code, you get 10% discount. Besides evening YouTube, grammar rules, 200 grammar rules, and questions from previous year's papers, 12 noon to 1 every day, Monday to Saturday, vocabulary, everyday idioms, one word substitutes, synonyms, antonyms, all these. Norman Louis, Prithviraj, yesterday also I forgot. See, generally what happens, this one, Norman Lewis, if you want to use that one, there is nothing like a special approach. What you have to do, first you take the book, and there are certain themes or concepts. Select a particular theme that interests you and spend time on that particular. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Spend time on that particular theme. First, you read and understand the words, the root, whatever the prefix or suffix. I think then there's one exercise. Thank you very much. And try to work on that. But today, also, to be very frank, we have run out of time. I will come up with a special video for you, Prithviraj. I don't want to disappoint you guys. A lot of students have been asking how to learn root words, prefixes, suffixes, how to use Norman Lewis. Please give me 1 or 2 days at time. I will come up with a short video. Then that will help. Rather than telling this way, that is going to be helpful. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Good night. I will see you on Monday.